Internet, I am the Fawns 278, and here for you today we have Game 1 of Round 2 of the steamed Warhammer Open Championships. We're here with the Slayer JJ himself.
It's me, hello!
It's him. And this one's personal. There's a lot of history behind this matchup. It is my Norsca versus JJ's Dwarves. So,
yes.
JJ, tell the viewers about these dwarves, because I sure as hell know these dwarves already.
Right, so I have 4 units of Dwarf Warriors as a front line. I then have a unit of Iron Breakers sitting just behind that. They've got a nice missile attack with their blasting charges, and their beasts in combat, really tanky. Behind them I've got my ranged threat of 3 units of Quarrelers with great weapons, just in case they get caught in combat from any potential cavalry or units that break through my front lines. I've got Gotrek sitting just behind the front line in a space where he can move back if he needs to, or just get to wherever he needs to deal with what problems are coming ahead. Belagar sitting in the middle there. The Runesmith Throny Ironbrow. God, I'm so difficult with that one. Dwarven name. Who will be providing buffs to my units and nerfs to the opponents. Then I've got a unit of cannons in the back, gets just some artillery, and 2 units of slayers behind to defend them. One of the units are in cover just to try and make Martin second guess where that unit is really.
So as JJ said, this is the same army he's taken in the previous round, and being honest, this is the same army he's smashed me with in many a casual game, and I was sick of it, so I put a lot of thought into this list, because I had one advantage. I've never beaten this list, but my advantage was I knew what the list was, so at least I could plan around it. So, my army here is, I have 4 units of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. You can see them heading for the trees, trying not to immediately die to this cannon, since everything else is behind a hill. We then have 5 units of Marauder Hunters, which are also throwing axes, 4 units of Marauders with great weapons, and then because I had kind of weird amount of money left, I ended up with the Icehorn Marauders, which is kind of the regiment of renown for the normal Marauder Warriors. They're the kind of the middle unit in this front line. We have the big lord Wulfric the Wanderer himself. Slightly awkward to show you all the units here because they're all merged together walking over a hill. But yeah, Wulfric the Wanderer is here. We have a Shaman Sorcerer of Death here, bring up the rear, and we have the Regiment of Renown Miststalkers. They are the Famir Warriors Regiment of Renown. So that's what I'm bringing. I don't think JJ particularly saw this coming, because this is actually pretty different from what I usually bring. My last list against Sean was much more what I'd usually bring, just kind of a berserker front line. I like the strong front line, maybe some skin wolves or something in a mammoth, like the mammoths. But I've tried that over and over again against these dwarves, and it never works out.
I was expecting a mammoth, I have to say.
Everyone was expecting a mammoth. That's the thing. You see, Norsca, you think mammoth. Yeah, so I misplayed this opener here. It bugged me that he went on the far side from the hill. I know why he did it. I should have guessed he would have, but the fact my whole infantry had to walk kind of over this hill or around this hill or whatever. I should have pulled the horsemen back rather than going in. The fact they immediately took cannon shots, I then panicked around them in, then the crossbow started firing. There's a whole mess here, so I messed up this initially. I needed everything to advance kind of at the same time to absorb ranged fire.
The reason I was in this area where I am is because it is the furthest distance I could see him. So like I can see him coming over the hill as well. So I wanted to be like as far away from the hill as I could be. So
it makes perfect sense. I should have guessed that's where he would have been, but it still hurt when I saw it. So I went, I have to walk so far. But why did I not deploy behind the hill? I know he has the cannon. But yeah, so you don't Norscan armies usually not this skirmishy. But my theory here was, if I can skirmish down his front line, then I can break through much more easier with the infantry. Because the main problem with just running into the dwarf line is always that, you know, unless you've got severely, like, top tier units, you're not just going to run through dwarf warriors. It doesn't happen. So my thought here was, I knew he had 3 units of Quarrelers, so if I have 5 units of throwing axes and 4 units of mounted throwing axes, I reckoned I could beat down his front line enough that then my great weapons and marauders can run in and mop up most of the dwarfs. That was the thinking. And the skirmishers could also get the slayers, was my other thinking. I also took the Death Shaman, because I knew I could Spirit Leech down Ironbrow. Another mistake I was sure I kept making against this list was that Ironbrow is ethereal, and I almost never have magic damage. So I was like, okay, we're going to take the Death Mage, we're going to Spirit Leech him down so his whole frontline isn't constantly buffed. And then I also have the magic weapons on the Famir Warriors, that regiment round. They do magic damage. So I was like, we have ways to take down Ironbrow.
Just noticed a purple sun you put down there, half health to one of my quarreler units. That was nice of you.
Big purple sun. Big purple. I was happy with that. Yeah. It was on camera.
Annihilated my front line. 2 of the units of Dwarf Warriors are almost gone at this point.
Yeah, so...
You really whittled them down.
Yeah, so I've just kind of got the camera on the front line here, because this is the whole point, is the dwarves are slow. I'm like, I keep losing the dwarfs. What am I doing? I'm running into the dwarfs. Maybe I shouldn't run into the dwarfs.
Yeah.
Maybe the fact that they're slow and I can throw armor-piercing axes at them works to my advantage. So now that the front line's severely whittled down, big longboat there across the corridors as well. I'm trying to reduce his range because I still don't want to take too much range damage. Iron Breakers decimate a unit of great weapons there. They always do like so much damage.
You see me charge a unit of Dwarf Warriors that were pretty badly hurt into your lines. That was just to stop your axe throwers from shooting for a second and make them run back.
Right, yeah.
While my quarrelers can still
mode.
shoot, because they were going to just die to getting shot with axes anyway.
Yeah,
I did spot Wilfred the Wanderer and just start shooting the absolute.
Yeah, I've zoomed in on it now.
Bejeezers out of them.
This is like so important right here because I'm trying to do I'm trying to do well with my skirmishers and stuff, and I was looking at the front line. I fucking forgot my lord, which I always do, and it really bugs me. But I have to give credit. This is a hard game. When you have magic, when you have skirmish cav, when you're trying to like play the game tactically, it's easy to forget one piece. And unfortunately for me, the most important piece was the one that was forgotten here. And you can see Wilfric here on 0 health getting shot by a cannon. But everything else is kind of going to plan. The Ironbrow is still very healthy, unfortunately. I don't have a lot of experience with the mages. I'm not very good at using mages. And I was kind of hoping Spirit Leech would do more damage to the ethereal unit. So Ironbrow is still here with health, buff and stuff. And is that Belagar? Belagar's in as well.
In there as well.
Yeah, but you can see the Famir Warriors have now been committed. I've committed my main damage dealing unit here to take out some more Dwarf Warriors.
They're beastly, these things. Honestly, the Famir Warriors are like nasty. I got a real surprise with them. I've got Gotrek still hidden in the forest because I know he is unbreakable. Oh, there goes Wolfric. He's went down. I've seen him running
miles away.
Yeah, I used the cannon just with the long range to try and cap him because he's worth. I believe your leadership goes down more if he's dead rather than just ran away.
Right,
and
okay,
I've got Gotrek hidden in the forest to try and just. I know he's unbreakable, so if I keep him. I've played lots of games where he was the last person left alive, and if there's nothing that can kill him, then it's just like a massive win. I did send a unit of Slayers chasing after his horse.
I did just turn the yeah. There was mismanagement here as well. There was several times where I told the cav to ignore the Slayers and run back to the battle, but because they were on skirmish mode, they kept like ignoring the order to skirmish and then just defaulting to their run away from dwarves. So there was misplay with the cav back there as well. I only managed to get one of them back in this main fight. You can see they're firing at some Iron Breakers here that are still alive. But most of the dwarves are dead. Here's Ironbrow going down as well. I ended up having to commit throwing axes to him, which at this point I was like, well, I need to kill him because I kept like if he's buffing every dwarf around him, then he needs to go down. That's important. But you can see here.
Yeah, you've smashed up the dwarven army.
Yeah, a lot of dwarfs running away. We have quarrelers running. We have is that Slayers? No, Dwarf Warriors. And the Slayers are still in here defending the cannons from the Famir. It is tricky because the Slayers are anti-large, so I didn't want the Famir fighting the Slayers, but this is where they are. This is how it ended up fighting. The Regiment of Renown Marauders are also here as well, but they're going to break soon. Because they are a Regiment of Renown, but they are still just Marauder Warriors, so they're not the strongest guys.
I did bring in the Slayers and Gotrek to try and defend the cannon just to get a few more shots off if I could, but you've annihilated my front lines. Yeah, you've routed, I believe, my Thunder or Quarrelers are pretty much
I don't think there's any
depleted completely here. I do have Thorny Ironbrow, the Rune Lord, coming back. I'm trying to keep him in the
He's still alive here, yeah.
in the woods to try and keep him hidden, and then like
Right.
pull him out.
No, I could see him that whole time because this was a big mistake by me as well. Was I committed the mage to try and get the last spirit leech on him, and I remember I pressed cast so many times. Cast spirit leech, cast spirit leech.
Yeah.
And I think you can see him trying to cast it there and get interrupted by the slayers. So that was another big mistake there. Was the mage ran in. I think maybe giving him a horse would have been a good idea. I never liked spending the money, but I don't think the dwarves would have caught him if he had a horse.
Yeah, it definitely would have. So I've seen him coming across and thought, oh, I can actually take out his other hero, which obviously the heroes are a good source of leadership as well. So if I could take him out, and luckily Gotrek's rapid, and the Rune Lord has a slow built into his
no
kit,
getting away.
so I could slow him down, and Gotrek just chops his ass down. The rest of my army though is in absolute tatters and getting cleaned up by Martin at this point.
Yeah,
I've got a unit
20
of slayers. With the long distance run, they've ran the absolute other side of the map
these guys.
chasing this
Yeah, all the way over here. Yeah, there's 12 slayers
They're
chasing.
knackered.
I don't know how. There was 3 units of skirmish cav here. How can 3 units of skirmish cav not take out a unit of slayers? That's really bad. I wasn't paying attention to that side of the map clearly, but I looked over at one point. How is this still going? They're not wearing t-shirts. Throw stuff at them.
So I've broken my hero blob apart. I've sent the Rune Lord into the Runesmith into the forest to try and hide him, try and take some of the heat away from him, because he will be useful later. And I've got the 2 Gotrek and Belagar together, just because Belagar has auras that I can pop that'll buff Gotrek as well, try and give him even more defensive stats. Because at this point I've got like 3, well, maybe like 5 or 6 models, including the slayers over there. So I really need to like do my best with what I've got left, because Martin's got hundreds and hundreds of units, models left.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good here, but I also knew, like, I've seen this happen before. I was like, alright, we have to kill Gotrek now, and Belagar. And all I have left, really, I've got a couple melee units, but really everything here is a ranged unit that now has no ammo. So it's not like I have hundreds of guys, but they're not really Dwarf Lord slaying dudes. So I really needed the Famir warriors to pull weight here. So I got luckily, they got Ironbrow alone. So that's the magic weapons. Like, right, I can finally take out this ethereal. That's some buffs gone at least.
Yeah.
But over here, Gotrek and Belagar, these are the tag team champions, obviously. They're just fighting off unit after unit of Norsemen. There's still a couple throwing axes to go. Not as many as I'd need though, to do all the damage. So it basically comes down to how many marauders can these 2 chop through. And the Famir are still a big piece here. The Famirs are the ones that really need to deal the damage. And I was going over my head of, do I need the Famir in doing as much damage as possible without blocking them up with a bunch of marauders, or do I just want the marauders hoarding in? Eventually you'll see, here come the marauders. So I'm like, I guess we just surround them with as many guys as possible and hope for the best, because at this point he's only got 2 units. There are slayers over there somewhere. There's like 10 slayers chasing around some horses. But, I mean, we're at the point of the game where it's like, right, we just Control A right click. I remember saying that out loud. Control A right click. There it is. You can see all the arrows. It just happened. There's Control A right click, and Belagar breaks here, or is shaken at least.
Yeah, he did. I was keeping an eye on his leadership, and I was waiting to pop his horn active to bring him back, and I thought, oh, I've just lost the game there, because he just suddenly broke. But then I don't know why, he just sort of he thought, nah, actually this isn't worth it. Let me get stuck in. We can still win this. We've got a chance here. So he's came back. I'll obviously popped the leadership bubble right away just to make sure that doesn't happen again. Popped all of his other actives. Got Gotrek in the back. It looks like you've just went everyone attack Belagar here, and Gotrek started chopping in the back.
Yeah, Belagar was my main focus. Because especially after I saw that break, I went, oh, he can break. Because I wasn't even sure if he was unbreakable as well, but I knew Gotrek was unbreakable. So in my head, I'm like, well, if I get Belagar running, that's easier than killing Gotrek in my head. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Also, when you surround 2 units like that, I also, even though I've right-clicked Belagar, I kind of assume that some of them are hitting Gotrek. I don't know exactly how this works, but I imagine there's some sort of coming. But the Famir warriors, there's only 3 of them left at this point, and although I'm sure they're doing damage, you can see there's both dwarves are still in half health. and when the Familiar Warriors break there, that's bad sign, bad sign. But you can, like, I just turned the camera, there's like 4 healthy looking Norscan units here. There's so many Norscans, because I was also cycling. So I wanted to keep in mind that if I have guys back here, my other guys will rally sooner. I'm trying to keep leadership up. If everyone breaks at once and I've lost, so I need to like have some guys not broken to help the others rally. There's a whole... This is way more complicated than it should be. This feels like it should be over, but these dwarfs are doing everything they can.
The unit of 12 Slayers, like 3 miles away, are making their big run over the mountain.
I can just see their flag coming over the hill,
yeah. So I'm just trying to like shatter your units if I can. Like even if they start routing, I'll try and get a few more hits in to try and properly shatter them so they don't come back.
Yeah.
It looks like your Familiars they've came back, they've rallied. You're sort of...
You can see there's a lot of Norskins here. There's still a lot of Norskins here. That's a lot of units.
I don't know how much ammo your guys have left.
Not a lot. There's I think only the horsemen are still throwing any.
Because the ammo does count towards your balance of power as well, I believe.
Oh, does it? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Belgar so I kind of want the Familiar to be the ones fighting. But as soon as I see the morale go down, I'm like, right, pile in more boys. And as I said, it's a lot of units, but it's all ranged, it's all skirmish units with no ammo left. There's 1 unit of Marauder Great Weapons left. And there's still the 3 from your warriors. Everything else here is a ranged unit. So it hurts. It really hurts, you know, to just like, because alright, Belagar's down to a quarter now, so you can see the Familiar are doing damage when they can. I'm not sure if bogging them down with everything else like actually helps or not, but when they're the only unit, you don't want to be left alone. I committed 2 units of calf to just run through the Slayers. I know the Slayers are anti-large, but I figured if I cycle charged as well, then they should be able to take down the Slayers without too much.
Yeah, they're going down. You took off 4 models in that first engagement there.
Yeah, and then they'll just come back again.
My army's kind of deceptive because I have 3 heroes, which on this amount of funds is actually, and unit caps, this is like the most amount of heroes you can have, I believe. Which, so there's a lot of points baked into that. Like one of my heroes is probably worth 4 of your units of axe throwers. So like when you're actually watching the game, you're like, I've got millions of guys, but like the heroes are just so tanky and strong.
Yeah. And as I say, they are all ranged units.
Yeah.
Other than, I think are the Familiar Warriors gone? I think the Familiar Warriors are gone now. So it's only...
There's 1 left, but they've shattered, yeah.
Shattered.
So they're on their way
They are
out.
gone. There's 45 Great Weapon Marauders left, and the rest are all Axemen.
I've got those 2 Slayers that must be the most tired things you've ever seen in your life. Literally chased horses around the whole map, then they run in. They got 81 kills.
81, that's not bad.
No, 56, sorry, that was your Marauders. They've got 81.
Those Marauders 81
and
kills?
Gotrik's like digging into the back of the Marauders there.
Yeah.
Belagar's running as well. I'm just trying to keep these 2 together, as I said, keep the buffs from Belagar, making the most of that.
And you can imagine how frustrated I am at this point, because their health is going down, but now I've lost the Familiar Warriors, which I'm pretty sure did like 80% of that work. And you know what, Jay? We both know what happens. I think we should maybe turn on a fast forward here.
Yep, so let's do fast forward.
Good, okay.
And essentially what I've done here is, well, Martin is holding his army back to try and make them, try and get them back to being fresh.
Yeah, I'm trying to get stamina back, because I know my morale's shattered. I need every possible bit of morale I possibly can have, so I'm kind of sacrificing this unit, letting them chase them away.
Yeah, and for me, I am using Gotrek to chase down this unit of Marauder Hunters, because there's 57 models there. Like, they've broken, but there's still quite a lot of them, so if I can't, at least, I was trying to shatter them really, but I just need to get them off the battlefield, and it's just a lot less I need to deal with.
And the miracle rally as well. I got super hyped when they rallied at the edge of the board.
Yeah.
That was quite funny. So I let my guys rest for a bit, get the stamina back, and then I started walking them over. This is why we're fast forwarding now. So I was really nervous because my units aren't even fighting right now, and 4 of them are like breaking. So I know that I need to like do as much damage as quickly as possible. Yeah, so I walk my troops over, and my best idea at this point is, right, I have cavalry. That's kind of my only advantage here. So I'm going to try and charge them from all sides. So I wanted to try and pull off a kind of flank charge from 3 sides with the infantry coming in. But I think I end up mistiming it slightly. But in my head, if, like, right, cavalry's my only advantage left, I need to cycle charge the cav into these 2 dwarfs. And that's, like, my best chance. So I spaced them out kind of best I can. JJ's going to try and like jockey around it, and my infantry are actually further back than I thought they were at this point. So you're going to see there's the call for the charge, but because JJ charges the cav that were kind of closer already, they come in way sooner. And dwarfs, man, they're hardy folk. They hardly move at these horses. These are Norscan.
Beligar has charge defense against all, and Gotrek is anti-large and a melee expert as well, so that they're like nails in combat.
I
do remember this though. You do well to like you watch for me to pop some of my buffs. So I think I pop Beligar's buffs, and then you retreat back to wait for that the abilities to run out. I still have, I believe, Gotrek's abilities to use because I noticed that you done that. So I was like, oh, I'll keep them in my back pocket just for the next attack you do. But that was a nice play you done there, I have to say.
Yeah, and I did actually lose a unit of horses now, so we're down to 2 horses. So that's 1 charge, 1 unit of horses gone. We've got two units of cav left. They're going to come in again, and we're going to try again. As I say, it looks kind of daft, but all my units are like 0 morale, range units with no ammo left. I'm trying to utilise the cavs best as I can. So there's another charge. Look at the amount of horses that just keel over as soon as they hit these dwarves. And that's
another reason I wanted to be near this. Sorry, Martin. Another reason I wanted to be near the edge of the board is because if you do break, even if you don't shatter, you can run off the edge. Yeah, especially horses. No time to rally at all. It didn't even look like they stopped charging. They ran through the dwarves and off the board, and that was it. Yeah, so the rest coming here. So this is kind of desperation time now. All the marauders come down the hill. The cav come in the back. I think that's what I wanted to happen. That's kind of the best case scenario for what I had left in my head. And Beligar's health does go down another little bit, just enough to give me hope, but you can see the Giga rout happens, all the Norscan break, and that's it. That's Dwarfwood. Big game.
How did that feel?
Big game.
How did that feel, Drew, to win the game?
I remember like shouting, yeah! Because when we were playing this game, we had 3 or 4 of the other chaps in the tournament watching at the same time, and it was really hype, and it was a really, really close game, as you've just seen.
It was close. I remember before the game, I think it was Alex said that he thought this would be the closest game of the tournament, and I was like, maybe, we'll see what happens. And I had theory crafted Mari at that point. I was like, I know I've lost to the dwarfs a lot, but I think I've got something here. I think we could pull this off. And by the end, like, I was furious. I'm going to be honest. I was utterly furious. Because I know 100% I lost because I threw away my lord and my mage, and there was like all the 100 other things I should have done that I didn't do. But in a way I'm happy because the theory worked. Like, that was by far the closest I've come to beating the dwarves. So I know this works.
Extra close.
This works.
You're right though, because like, if you didn't lose Wolfric, that's massive, obviously, in there. The shaman, if he was still alive to cast a few more spells, that would have been massive. And like, it's harder to say the micro for the horses because that's a lot to do while you're doing your main armies.
You want me to micro the horses and keep Wolfric alive? Are you mad?
But like, yeah, but like, definitely if you kept Wolfric or your shaman alive, like, either one of them probably would have won the game at this point that we're at now.
Aye, because even though I only had Chod left, if all that Chod didn't rout, they would have eventually killed the dwarf. But it's like, but that's not how the game works. There's systems, there's morale. You know, you have to keep these things in account. It's unfair to say if every unit in my army was unbreakable, then this, you know, if they all had machine guns, I also would have won.
For real, yeah.
Yeah, so that was an awesome game. That was really close, and I was actually really happy with how that went. So
yeah,
as I said, I was furious at the time, but
my heart was pumping. Honest, We've got the Discord audio for this as well. Like, we could put that up if anyone wants to see it. Me and Martin were like so quiet for that whole game. That it was all the guys at Discord just having their hot takes and, oh fuck, he's lost. He's like, oh no, he's won, he's won. And then I was concentrating, heart pure pounding in the chest, like, oh shit, this is close.
So JJ is moving on to the next round of the winners bracket. We can put the bracket back on the screen now. I'm heading down into the underdogs bracket. I'm no longer, from this video on, it will no longer be the losers bracket. It is now the underdogs bracket.
You're playing Alex now with his vampire accounts. That'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm playing vampire accounts next. That's different. No rage units. Maybe I can bring back a mammoth, not have it die instantly. Yeah, I'm nervous now though because I put so much time and effort into focusing on how I can beat the dwarves to the list. Then I'm like, vampire accounts? That's totally different. I can't take 5 units of berserkers or 5 units of backstories against vampire accounts. Or can I? Or can I?
Find out next time.
Find out next
on
time.
the Steamed Warhams.
On Steamed Warhams. I'll see you in the final.
Yeah, catch you then, guys. Bye.